Welcome to the MumBoss podcast. This is a space for women who have transitioned to growing a business midlife or who are presently transitioning. The catalyst for your change may be motherhood, just like mine. And the vessel for increased flexibility and freedom comes from building your own heart-led business. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to the MumBoss podcast. My name is Lorna Lyons and I'm delighted to have you here. If this is your first time listening in, you are so very welcome. My name, like I said, is Lorna Lyons. I am the founder of the MumBoss Coaching and Mentoring Company, and I'm also the founder of the MumBoss Network, where I specifically love to support women to grow lifestyle first, freedom-focused businesses around their precious lives. And this series is being dedicated to my biggest love in business, which is creating leveraged content. So what is leveraged content? It's essentially content that lives on long past the time that you make it. So if you think about the traditional form of doing business, you are working with the client in some form or capacity, depending what your niche is, whether you are coaching, consulting, providing therapy, some form of service-related business that you are providing to your client. And it often requires you to be there traditionally in real time. So as your client is getting results, you are there supporting them and helping them to achieve those results. But in this grand old day that we live in now, this current era, that is no longer a necessity. We are no longer required to be in person in real time in order for our clients to get incredible results. And that's what creating leveraged content really does for a person. It means you get to create a resource, a learning video, a tutorial, an educational resource of some sort for a person. It can be a template, a PDF resource, it can be video content, it can be audio, but you create it and then it gets to live on after you've done it for weeks and weeks, months and months, years and years, as your people want to use it. And so your job at home isn't to just, I suppose, put it up on your website and cross your fingers, hope marketing that people find it. Your job in the background is to promote it, to create awareness, to create content of other forms, like on social media, for instance, and point people in the direction of your website whereby they can get their hands on that content. But it just means that you're not having to go back and do it over and over and over again for all of these different people. You do it once, you host it on a platform, perhaps your website, perhaps somewhere else, and then you just lead people to that space where they can get their hands on it, they can watch it at a time that suits them, or download it or listen to it at a time that suits them, and you can transform and impact countless lives without you being demanded to be there in person. And that is just so incredible for us business owners. Like, what a perk for us to be able to be living our lives and doing what it is that brings us joy, while another person is getting massively supported by the work that we're doing, but we're just not having to be there in the real time, at the time and moment that it's happening with them. And it's not saying that you're never having contact with that person. That's not what I'm saying at all. There's loads of times of contact that you can be having, but those times of contact can be your choosing, can be very much in your control of what hours it is that you want to work in your business, what days you want to work in your business, etc., etc. So this particular episode and this series that I'm doing in the MumBoss podcast at the moment is all focused on leveraged content and how you can go about making it a reality for yourself. So today I'm going to break down two main things. The first thing that I'm going to be looking at is which should you focus on first? If it's a case you'd love a business model with a variety of different digital offerings inside it, made up of courses and memberships, then which one should you focus your attention on first? And then the second thing that I'm going to break down in today's episode is the mindset shifts that you need to take on as the leader of someone who is either running a membership or running a course, because it's two different operating systems, it's two different ways of running those particular offers, and I want to really highlight and contrast the difference for you. So let's break it down. Firstly, I talked about which one should you focus on primarily for your business. Should you look at a course or a membership first if it's a case that you want to have both inside your business down the line? If you're thinking 12 months from now, I would love to have a digital business model that is made up of a number of different offerings, including courses and memberships. So which one should I focus my attention on now? So this answer is going to be different for every single person, depending on what it is that you love the idea of most. So you would focus on a course first if you love the idea of having a start line and a finish line in a contained environment where you can help people achieve a certain specific result that needs your high impact attention and intention inside this curated container with them, for example, for 12 weeks. And maybe that whatever the niche it is that you're operating in, maybe it really needs this heightened attention from you to begin with in order for your people to achieve the best results that they could possibly achieve. And maybe this is your calling, like you're really feeling into being in person with people over a short period of time, and then you love the idea of that having a set finish line and bringing in a new cohort of people and doing that kind of program again. And if that's the case, then a course could be the very best thing that you focus on first. With the course, it can be a more premium priced course. It can have a set timeline. You can cap the number of people that are coming inside there. It can be a very intimate experience for people. There's loads and loads of really, really great benefits for running a course first. And what I love about joining a membership to a course is that often when people are working with you for the space of 12 weeks, they often don't want the course to finish, do they? They've gotten to know you, they're loving the progress that they're experiencing in their own lives, they're loving the connection that they're having inside the course, they're loving the material that they're getting access to. And often when people are running courses, it means at the end of the 12 weeks, it's all over, it's all finished. And people can feel at a loss, they can feel like at sea, and they wish they had a way to keep working with you, but maybe it's not financially viable for them to do the course again, and maybe it doesn't make sense because they'd be going over the same content again. So in those kind of situations, having another space for those people to flow into with ease makes so much sense. So they get to the end of your 12-week course, and then you have this beautiful membership space that's less contact from you, I suppose, when you're contrasting how you be showing up for your course versus your membership. You're not going to be in there as much in person. It's not going to be as much of an intimate experience, but they're still going to have access to you. They're still going to have proximity to you and the work that it is that you're teaching people on. They're still going to have access to a community of like-minded people who are all working towards common goals. They're still going to have access to some of your resources that are going to support them in their lives. So if that's the case, if you're someone who you're like, I have a transformational offer that I want to bring people through this intimate container, and that's what I want to focus my attention on first, then amazing. Like, that's just a great way to go at it. Have your premium course, have a focus of bringing people in. When your course ends, then you've got a lovely, seamless place to be able to invite them to continue their experience with you at a lower grade, inside your membership, but you're still getting access to all of these beautiful resources, etc. Sounds amazing. Now, that could be your focus, and you may be leaning into this going, that sounds amazing, that's exactly what I want. Or you might be like, I really don't like the idea of running a course first. I'd love to just get my community up and going. I'm being drawn towards community building. I'm being drawn towards running an ongoing membership space rather than focusing my attention on a course right now. You might be thinking to yourself, this is something that I want to develop down the line, or it's just not even on my periphery yet, but I'm really feeling the desire to create community and meaningful connection with people. And so then you might be in a different space where you're like, okay, membership is the main focus of my attention right now. And that's what I'm going to talk to people about, the connected community. It's going to be focused on bringing people together, working towards a like-minded activity, whatever it is that your niche is. And then over time, what you'll find is your members will start telling you things that they're desiring more, asking you for stuff, and you might get some ideas drop into your head where you're like, okay, that could be something that I could create as a course down the line. So, just really choose where it is that you're at right now. And like the second option B is really the way my business got started. I started with the membership, and then people started telling me what it is that they wanted, and then I built all these different courses based off what my members specifically asked for. And this is a more passive way of marketing and selling, I would say, because there was no need to go out and recruit new people to inform them about the new offers in the business and to really promote hard or to sell things that people didn't know about, because instead it was my community coming, asking, saying, can we have this? And then so it gets developed, and then they get invited into it. And so that could be something that you're like, I really like the sound of that. It just seems more at ease for my nervous system. I really don't like the whole constantly having to create new things and constantly having to find new clients and that whole sales process of things. And if that's you, then I get that. That was me too. That is me too. And so I really leaned into the community building side of things and listening to what it is that they wanted, and then asking yourself, is that something that you can create for them? And then that gets to be the step that they take from the membership. So the membership comes first, and then you get to invite them into other courses that you create after they've been in your membership for a little while. So, they've been in there for 3 months, they've been in there for 6 months, and then you can say, well, I think this could be a great next step for you. How do you feel? And you can move people inside your ecosystem, your business ecosystem, that way. So these two different ways of operating a membership can be looked at as a front door method, a front door model of membership growth, or a back door model of membership growth. So with the front door method, it's where your membership comes first. It is the front door that you open to people, and you can imagine you're at your house, you open the front door and you're saying, come on in, and people are congregating in your hallway, and you're all getting to know each other in the hallway, having the chats, connecting with each other. And then all the different rooms in your house, your sitting room, your kitchen, your living area, you get to bring people into all of these different rooms in your house, the different courses that you create after they've been in your membership for a little while, and you've all gotten to know each other a little bit better, and you know what people are looking for, and you're able to direct them in these different ways. Or it could be the backdoor model. So this is where your course comes first. So this is the thing that you're talking about to people. You're talking about your transformational course. You're talking about whatever it is that you're going to be teaching people, how it is you're going to be helping them move from point A to point E in their lives, where it is that they where they are now versus where it is that they want to get to. And then once they've been in your course, and once they have achieved the results that you have promised them from your course, and they don't want to go anywhere and your course is coming to an end, then you can go through the backdoor method of saying, well, look, we're ending this course right now, but that doesn't mean that our time together needs to end, because I've got this beautiful community space over here where you can move into, and it's at a lower price rate, so that you can be in there for as long as you want, and feel free to cancel any time. And it's a lovely place to be able to bring people at the end of your course. So that's a backdoor method. So really think into those two, like which is singing to you right now. Do you love the idea of a course first and a membership afterwards, or do you love the idea of community building and the membership first and being fed what it is that you should create and doing courses later? Two different methods of growing a beautiful digital business that allows you enormous time freedom and flexibility, but both have different pathways that they bring their customers, their clients through, a different journey that your clients get to navigate their way through inside your business ecosystem. Then the next thing I really wanted to focus our attention on in today's episode is the different mindset that you need to have for if it's a case that your course is your front door model, or if it's a case that your membership is your front door model, because it's two very, very different ways of operating a business. So if you are considering doing a course first, then I want you to settle into the fact that acquiring new clients is going to be a necessity for you on an ongoing basis. Because the nature of a course is it's got a start line, it's got a finish line. You bring in a cohort of people, you work their way through the course, it ends, and you bring in a new cohort of people. So acquiring new clients to be able to come through that course is like a necessity. You're not going to be able to operate it without having new clients coming in the door there. So with the new clients comes attached the promotional content that you have to be doing, the marketing, the selling that you have to be doing over social media, over your email marketing, over your long form content, however you might be collaborating with other people, however you are creating awareness about who you are, about your brand, about your business, about what you do, who you help, how you help them, all of those things. So that when you are running a course as the front door model for your business, then the acquisition of new clients has to be at the forefront of your mind. And I'm just going to throw this out there because it's just coming up for me as I say it, but this was one of the reasons that I leaned away from having a course first, because I used to run courses all the time. And personally, for me, what I found was I would get a cohort of people in to my course, and I'd be so excited, I'd be so delighted, I'd be like, yes, I've got all these people in, they're incredible people who are going to be working their way through the course. But I never got to celebrate it for very long, because no sooner had I kind of started the course with them than my mind started ticking over going, you know what, this is going to be ending in 11 weeks now. I'm going to have to start promoting now again to get new people lined up to be starting at that date. And so it just felt like, for me personally, it felt like I was always on. And that's different for everyone. Everyone gets different buzzes from different things inside their businesses that they're growing. So you just really have to harness awareness over what lights you up and what kind of makes you contract and makes you feel resistance and a little bit of, like, not fear, that's not the right word, it's more just distaste, I suppose, of wanting to do something again. And that was what was really happening for me. I was like, God, I'm not getting a chance to celebrate the joy of having this group in here, because my mind is having to think about promoting and getting the next people lined up coming in. So that is something to be aware of as a course runner, is as you are rolling out and delivering your course to people, you have to, in the background, be considering the runway for the next start date. And now it's easier depending on how long your course is run for. If you have a longer course, like if your course runs for 6 months, then you know that's not really something that you have to be considering on a regular basis. But if you're someone who's operating 6-week courses or 10-week courses or 12-week courses, then it is quite often that you're looking to bring new people in all of the time for this distinctive start date and end date that you're having for your course. So in difference, when you are running a membership, it is not acquisition of new clients that you need to be focused on at all. It's actually a complete flip of the script in that sense, because instead of focusing your attention on acquiring new clients, as a membership business owner, your focus is on retaining the clients you already have. So, you know, that is just, again, you have to settle into what feels really good for you. But I really love the idea of bringing people in and then focusing your attention on how you can deliver an incredible experience that makes them want to stay in your space for a really long time, like they never want to leave. And that's the focus on retention rather than acquisition. It's like, how can I deliver an incredible experience for my people on an ongoing basis so that they never want to leave this space? Now, you might hear that, and that might bring up resistance in you. You might be like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure I could deal with the pressure. Not sure if I could deal with the pressure of consistently and constantly providing an incredible experience for people on an ongoing basis. So I'll just wrap wrap another idea around this as we're going through it, because you have to remember the incredible experience that you're delivering to people. It's also in alignment with the price point that's attached to that. The price points that are attached to courses versus memberships are largely different. You know, courses, typically speaking, are more premium priced. And so the requirement of what it is that you are delivering has to be a match for the promise that's attached to that course. Whereas in the membership space, it's typically, again in inverted commas, typically a lower price point that people are coming in at. And so, yes, you are delivering incredible results for people, but they're also, you have to put yourself in their shoes where they're going, oh my God, I'm getting all of this for this amount of money. That's incredible. So you're not trying to create the same level of value that you would for a course, for a membership, because that would be insane for you to be able to give that kind of high level of high touch to people inside your membership space. It's not, that's a different space you're creating over here. Your membership is built for scale. It's an infinitely scalable product where whether you have one person or 1,000 people in there, your job doesn't essentially change. So inside a course, there might be more high touch experiential workings with you and your clients in there. You might have an element of one-to-one going on. You might have some direct feedback on the work that they're doing and things like that. Whereas in a membership space, it's not requiring that level of you and your one-to-one time and attention. That's not what the membership space is about. So back to our focus as a business owner on whether we're focused on running a course or a membership. So if it's a course, it's the acquisition of new clients. It has to be in the forefront of our minds at all times. Even when we're just starting our new program out with people, we have to have in the back of our minds, we're going to have to acquire new people for the next course start date. When is the next course start date? When does the runway have to happen before that so that I can start bringing people into my world and promoting the next course start date to them? Versus a membership, you are bringing in a cohort of people and then your focus and attention is on retention. So how can I keep these people in this space for as long a period of time so that down the line in 3 months' time and 6 months' time, they might decide to go into one of my courses that I've developed. Okay, so it's a flip of the script. But let's look at the 3 top ways that membership business owners retain clients inside their memberships, because this is one of the biggest reasons that membership business owners close down their memberships. I've seen it time and time again. I've had so many people come to me say they loved their membership, but it didn't. They brought in a brilliant number of people initially, and then they started to lose people, and it was less people coming in the next time they launched and less people the next time they launched, and suddenly they found they had a small group inside there and it didn't feel worth it anymore. And so they closed their membership down and they've gone elsewhere. But they're coming back to me and they're going, I love the idea of a membership. I just didn't set it up right. So let's talk through the top 3 ways that you can focus on retention in your business if it's a case that you do decide to set up a membership first, so you don't find yourself down the line with low numbers and considering closing your membership down. Okay, let's try and set it up for the way it should be from the very beginning, which is a heightened focus on retention and not an acquisition. So the very first, I'm going to give 3 top ways to focus on retention if you are community building. And the first top way for harnessing retention inside your membership space is to work on connection between your members inside that space. So I have said this time and time again to all of the female founders who I'm supporting inside the Community Creators Club. I help women create spaces, community build, create memberships, create courses inside the Community Creators Club. And one thing I tell them all the time is people will join your membership space for the information, but they will stay in your membership space for the community. So the people who you have inside that group are really important. And it's really important that you realize that you're the beacon to attract those people to your membership space. It's your values, your opinions, your voice and your message that's bringing people into that space in the first place. So you have to be really conscious of the values that you're putting out there to people, because they're the values that are a match for those people who are being attracted to that space. And so when you've got this values aligned community with lots of people who are working towards a similar goal and they all have similar values, how you retain people inside your membership space is you help connect them with one another, because it's all well and good for each of your members to have a connection with you. That's great. You want them to have a connection with you. You want to have a connection with them. But really on scale, how you can harness retention going forward is that they have a connection with each other. So how can you bring your people together? And this could be done by simply inside, if you have a private Facebook group, for example, you can welcome the new members that you have into your community space just by simply tagging them and then asking the rest of the community to join you in welcoming them into the space. Okay, you're immediately just pulling people out and saying, look, we've got these new people here, help me celebrate them and welcome them into their community. Another thing you could do is if you know a specific something about a person and you know somebody else in your community has something similar, maybe they both love ponies and they have ponies in their backyards. Okay, you know something random about them, you'll be able to say, oh, you might have something to chat with this person about, and you tag the person specifically. So you bring people together by tagging and pulling them out and connecting them with each other. Another thing you can do to help people get to know each other is to host a Zoom call for your community. Bring people online, the older members and the newer members, and simply have very informal chats where you have a cup of tea, have chats with each other, talk about what you're looking for inside the membership, where you're at in your life right now, and connect people. Like, that's the number one thing for you to do, to have people feel a sense of belonging inside your community. And how a person feels like they belong is if they feel like they have other people who are like them that they know. And you're responsible as the membership leader, as the person who's going to make those connections for people. The second, I'm going to share 3 things that you can do to really harness retention inside your membership space, because this is the four focus that you need at the forefront of your mind when you are running a membership space. So the first one was harnessing connection amongst your members. The second one I'm going to talk about is ensuring that your people are experiencing results on an ongoing basis. Okay, like, I'll say the number one reason people will leave your membership space is that they're not getting results. They joined for a particular reason, whether it was to learn a craft, learn a hobby, build a business, whatever it is, whatever reason it is that they are inside your space, to be connected with other parents, to learn, just thinking about how to quilt, how to create art, to go about getting fit, how to bake. These are all the different membership spaces that I'm working with different women. Holistic therapy, coming together, groups of holistic therapists coming together and sharing information with one another. You need to make sure, as the leader of that group, that those people, for whatever reason it is that they joined your community, that they are experiencing that on a monthly basis. So it's really important information to get from people. Why are you here? What are you looking for by joining this community? What is it specifically that you are looking for? And whatever it is that they tell you, that's the number one priority for you to be delivering back and making sure that's happening for people. So experiencing results is a really, really great way to elongate retention inside your membership community so that people stay for months and months and months, even years. The third way to really focus on retention inside your membership space is to excite your members about what's coming up. So they might be really enthusiastic about what they're doing right now, but at the back of their mind, they might be saying to themselves, oh, I don't really have time next month, or Christmas is coming, or the summer holidays are coming, and I might just give it a break. For then. And they might be saying to themselves, I'll give it a break and I'll come back, but I'll just take a pause because, life is busy. So you have to consider that. You have to consider all these different people who have all their different life circumstances going on, and create figure out what your deliverables are that could excite them in coming months and inform them of it. So, I know the summer holidays are coming up and you might be thinking about taking a pause, but just so you know, we've got this happening, and this happening, which is going to be really supportive to helping you do X, Y, Z. And so you are literally dangling the carrot, I suppose, about what it is that people are going to miss out on if it's a case that they're not going to be around during those months, during that season. And so really what you're doing is giving people the opportunity to consider what it is that they want to do. Do they really want to cancel this low ticket membership that's actually giving them an awful lot of value in their lives for the sake of a summer, or do they just want to continue paying it and staying in there because actually they're getting so much from it, and if they were able to show up to some of those calls that you've just enticed them with, well, wouldn't that be a great thing? That would be an addition to their lives. And that's what we want our membership spaces to be for people. None of us want to be running a membership space that people aren't turning up to, or that people aren't getting value from, or that people aren't getting results from, or that people aren't excited about. So it's really about creating a beautiful space that excites you and it excites your people, and you're informing them about it so that they feel like, well, it's an absolute no-brainer to hang around for this because this is going to be so supportive to me in whatever way, shape or form that your niche is directed at. So I'm going to finish up today's episode with that. I hope you are really starting to consider the power of creating leveraged content for yourself in your business if you haven't done this yet. I work with an enormous amount of women, many of whom are working in person, many of whom who are still creating programs and offerings that require their time, their precious, precious time for money. And since the very beginning, since the inception of the MumBoss coaching and mentoring program, I've gone down a different route, and it has been a route which has been primarily focused on creating leveraged content in the form of courses and memberships. And it hasn't always been easy. Often it has felt like I have been talking into the abyss of nobody there, banging my head up against a wall, not really knowing if I was going the right way. But I've always stuck to a vision in my head of what that time freedom focused model could look like. And I'm very, very grateful now, 3.5 years later of creating this type of content, that I stuck the course. And so if you are someone who you are playing around with the idea of it in your head, it feels heavy, it feels hard, you don't really know where to start, but you would love to do it, then I just encourage you to reach out and get support. Make sure you're in an environment of people who are doing the kind of stuff that you want to be doing yourself. Because if you are just relying on your own thoughts in your own head, and you don't have a circle of entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs around you who can really, just feed into your thoughts and influence you in a really positive way in regards to what opportunities are available to you out there, then you're just going to be left with what you know in your own head. You're not giving yourself the source of what other people who are a little bit further along the line can do for you and how they can help you. So I would just say, really make sure you are in an environment of other people who are doing what it is that you want to do. And if leveraging your content is something that you feel like this is exactly what I want to be doing for my future, then there is no right time to get started with this. It is not further down the line. It is not in the new year. It is not next Monday. It is not tomorrow morning. It's always right now. It's the only certainty any one of us ever have is what we have right now. And the sooner you begin this journey of creating the leverage content, the sooner you get to enjoy the rewards out the other side of it. It's not going to come instantaneously for you, me, anyone. It's going to take time, effort, energy, and intention. But wouldn't you want to be putting all of those incredible resources of yours into the right things for your future, the future business that you're growing? And if it's a case that, leveraged content isn't your jam, that's okay too. Like, just knowing exactly what it is that you want to create for the future, that's the very, very best place that you can be right now. Having clarity on what sort of future vision you have for your business, because then you know what to work on today. But if leveraging your content is something that you can see as giving you the ultimate time, freedom, flexibility, all of the things that are so many business owners and entrepreneurs set up their businesses for in the first place, but never really achieve because they just create another form of 9 to 5 for themselves at home rather than being an employee for somebody else, then just I encourage you to be brave and to reach out and to send me a DM, send me an email, and let me know what it is that you're trying to do. And I'm so happy to help. I'm so happy to support other female founders to do great things for their business, because I know exactly what it was like to be lost and teaching and not knowing how I could get started. Like, let me bring you back to the fact that I had no Instagram page when this all began. I didn't use social media at all. So I know what it's like to have nothing and to have no reputation and to have no audience and to have a busy job and to have 3 kids at home and wonder how I could find the time or how I could even go about building something. And here I am now, a few years down the line, and I have the MumBoss Coaching and Mentoring Company, and I have all these different courses and memberships and leveraged content that people are getting enormous value and progress and results from on a daily basis. And I'm not there in person with them. It's an incredible place to be at. And it took hard work, didn't take long hours, because I worked really intentionally within the small time frames that I had in the mornings when the kids were at school. But I want to support you if this is something that you want for yourself too. And I want you to know that I'm here, and that I am only a DM away, and that I'll be so happy to support you and help you on this journey as well. Your first step, if you haven't already taken the first step, is to get yourself in an environment of people who are doing what it is that you want to be doing. So the MumBoss Network is an amazing place for you to get started there, because it's full of female founders who are starting, growing and scaling their businesses using online platforms to be able to do it. And it's very much an environment of holistically minded, kind, caring, dynamic, motivated, ambitious women, but who all have lifestyle first at the forefront of their minds, and their businesses are being created to support that. We're not into the hustle. We are not into working all of the hours of all of the days. That is not what growing a business for yourself as a female founder is in this day and age. That's not what it's about. It's not what the MumBoss Network is about. So that is your first stepping stone, is to get yourself in an environment that works for you and what it is that you're creating. And like I said, I'm only a DM away if you want to speak about leveraging your content and how you can create this beautiful digital business model for yourself in the future. So for today, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. Bye-bye.